What up, Herd? Welcome to another episode of Movies and Shows, where we're going to be talking about Shang-Chi. But before we get started, let's do a little roll call. What is going on, Steve? How you doing?
I'm doing great, man. I can't wait to get into Shang-Chi. You know what I mean? I'm ready to give the review, all of us, man. And it's great for your boy had a day off, and your boy's fully vaccinated. Bam. So he's ready to rock.
It's about time. It's about time.
Near you, y'all. What's going on, my brother Jeff? Talk to me. What's cracking?
I'm doing well. I had a very long, very happy birthday weekend. Boy, did I do a lot this weekend. So thank goodness had that little extra day to rest yesterday and got to work from home today. And I'm ready to talk about Shang-Chi. I'm excited. That movie, I'm not going to go there yet. Let's go back to Alonzo before I get all crazy, right?
Yeah. We want to get into it.
Oh, man. Yeah, like Shang-Chi was amazing. This is Alonzo, aka Comics and Pops. I am your host for this evening. And you know what? We have a special guest, someone that decided to join us in this review. We're going to bring him on.
We caught him in a good mood.
JR?
I'm doing right. I thought it was coming on as Jeff Stripper, like to end his birthday weekend was what it was.
Ooh. No, I gotta go. Guys. No.
Well, between that and like Steve, we got to buy you a ring light for your birthday, bro. I mean, you're like the man in the dark.
Oh man,
I gotta inch myself out as soon as
he's going all natural right now.
That's right.
That's right.
It's live and direct.
Yep. And it's good to see you, JR. I mean, on this show, we get to talk about your culture, your Asian culture.
Yeah, the man.
Wearing your glasses today?
No. I'm like my eyes get real small instead.
Nice.
All right, but before we get into the review, let's Steve, would you shout out the chat for us?
Oh, most definitely. First and foremost, let's go ahead and holler at our Team Nerd Herd moderators. Brother number one, Brother Rudy, the host with the most. My brother, always shouting out the community, always just being a pillar of the community. Man, something wrong. Brother number two, get you a club soda, get you a lime, and he's going to have jokes ready. And you already know he's going to be coming to a Mondo mail call near you. Countdown, 2 days. And then you got D-Anime, etc. D-Anime, etc. Senpai. And then the music, man. We got to give shout outs to DJ Abomination and Plainclothes D, my man Darian over there. And now, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into this Herd chat. You already know something wrong is in here. You got Azores Tigers. What's going on? Let the tiger out. All right, man. Let's go ahead and get Brother Rudy. Brother Rudy is up here. He was at the very tippy top laughing out loud. All right.
He's enjoying himself already. That's what the deal is.
Alonzo, you're up in here too, man. Already? Starting the show off or what?
Course,
Lord Chuck's over at the BLCC, the biggest little city collectors. What's going on, my brother? Reno's finest. You already know. My girl HK Wifey 420, Sheena. What's going on, girl? Thank you for joining us, girl. Always. Much love. My brother Eric the Phoenix, blood brethren. Just rising up from the ashes and spreading those fiery wings, man. Like a Tropicana Las Vegas dancer, I mean, JR was talking about, like
he was, and you are in Vegas mode, aren't you, Steve? So
I am. I'm headed there, guys. What's going on, Azores Tigers? We got Maris Comics and Collectibles. What's going on? From the 619, with that Rey Mysterio kick to the face. All right, Moonlit Comics. What's going on, Moonlit? Michelle, man, you guys got to follow Moonlit, man. She had a renaissance period. We got Yep. Oh, the group chat just jumped on my ass. What's going on? Yeah, boy, broski over at the East Meets West, man. Go out and sub my man Joker channel up. You got Inja Binja. What's going on, Inja? How's it going? Good evening. And let's go. We got Jason claiming comics. What up? What up, my brother? What's
Whoa.
cracking? Good to see you, my brother. You got my boy Real Root 6 over here at the BLCC, the biggest little
Nice.
city collectors, man. Man, he is a night owl, too, they say. Man, he's hanging over there with the Spine Ticks, man, and doing that BLCC work. He's doing that double duty. All right. And I think we are all caught up. And with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and click my camera off and my voice. And I'm going to go ahead and get in the light now.
All right, you do that, Steve. Thank you very much. All right, guys, let's just get her started. Let's just jump right in there. Let's start off with the birthday boy. So, Jeff, what did you think of the movie overall?
I absolutely loved it. Definitely a different type of Marvel movie. Still has the Marvel feel, but nothing that anybody I've ever seen in any Marvel of any of the 24 movies that came before it. And it definitely tied in the beginning of the Marvel universe. So it's just a nice little beginning of Phase 4 that we're getting, and there's so much more that's coming from this movie that I'm so excited for. So this is I'm glad that everyone got to see this different world, because people have seen Hidden this messed me up. Hidden Dragon, Crouching Tiger, right? So everyone's like, a lot of people have actually seen that movie. Some people actually haven't, but that type of wushu, martial arts, that flying mystical kind of flavor that they gave it's beautiful, and I'm glad everyone got to see it on a grander scale, and the fact that Asian people can act. With convincing, drama and convincing acting. These guys have years of experience, and I'm so happy that they got to show what they can do and what they've been doing for decades. So yeah.
No, I appreciate it. That's some great insight. What about you, JR? What were your thoughts about the movie?
Well, first off, should we answer Moonlit?
There will be
this
spoilers.
beginning is.
Yeah, towards the end, we're going to spoil the crap out of this movie.
Híjole madre. Sorry, Michelle.
I'll
catch you later. Peace out. She just peaced the F out right now, y'all.
Hang over the geek card.
I really enjoyed it. I was interested in seeing, because it kept touting this was going to be like Marvel's. They're kind of gearing it towards the Chinese market or the Asian market, and I want to see how ham-fisted they were to it. And I thought they did a really good job where they kept. I think everyone should be happy with the movie the way it was done. I felt it reminded me a lot of Daredevil in some of the fight scenes, where it was nothing over the top. It was a lot of like the Long Aisle scenes.
And we're talking Daredevil Netflix, right? Just want to make sure.
I don't. The Mad whatever his face doesn't count. But I'm talking about like the actual Charlie Cox version of it. But yeah, overall I thought it was a really good movie. I liked a lot of little Easter eggs that were in there. I can't wait to discuss those with you guys. I liked how they did not necessarily not say who Shang-Chi's father was. They left it kind of ambiguous. But overall, I thought it was well done. I'm looking forward to the next movie. I was going to pass off to Steve, but he goes running away right when I'm about to do it.
Oh, no, you can still pass it.
Okay.
Go, Steve.
Pass the baton.
Go ahead,
What did
Steve.
you think?
Man, I enjoyed it. To echo Jeff's sentiments, I love the kung fu aspect of it. They didn't really overly hit you with it, but the scenes that they did hit you with were impactful. And it would be very reminiscent of what Jess said. I think there's a beauty in martial arts. I love a lot of the build up to it. it wasn't rushed. It felt like they took their time and they delivered. I mean, I was definitely happy with what they put out. And at the very end, man, whoo, Jesus.
Yeah.
Yep. I agree with you guys wholeheartedly. I love the pageantry that came with all of the fight scenes. I mean, it to Jeff's point, it did remind me of Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and how like beautiful and artful everything flowed. I mean, it was amazing. A lot of the acting was well done. I love the fact that you have all of these Asian characters, but not everybody spoke Chinese, which is fantastic. And and they switched between English and Mandarin, which was fantastic too, because in today's world, you have a lot of um, people speaking different languages, and there's no accent. I mean, it was great to kind of to see that. And for me, like I didn't see any sort of Asian stereotypes at all in the movie. I felt that it was kind of set in today's world, and all of those stereotypes were just out the door. And let's just tell a good story,
Yeah.
which was amazing. I mean, again, I like everybody else. I would highly recommend you guys watching if you haven't already. But let's get into favorite scenes. Jr., what was your favorite scene in the movie?
I think probably one of my favorite scenes outside of the fight scenes, because those are phenomenal, is when we had our surprise guest show up. When Ben Kingsley showed up as the Mandarin, because I love Ben Kingsley. I think he's a great actor, but he pissed me off with that role in the Iron Man 3 or 2, what it was.
Three. Yeah.
3. And I like the fact that we got, here's a backup story. He got freed, but they never did anything with it. And this was a complete blindside to me in this movie, that he shows up and whatever that Ottoman creature chair thingy was with no head. I thought it was great though, just to see him. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I know who you are. I do plays every Friday because they like me and all this stuff." And I just thought that was hysterical.
I love it. What about you, Steve? What was your favorite scene?
Oh man, my favorite scene had to have been, I mean, it's so cliche, but the bus scene, because you get a further extension of what's going on. The fight exudes, and I mean, for me, I'm all about the action. As far as when I'm looking at martial arts, how's the choreography? Is it close to it being real? And then the added dynamics between Mrs. Aquafina, driving that bus, and Shang-Chi, aka Sean, just doing his thing, just whooping that ass. I mean, man, he opened a can of whoop ass on them like you wouldn't believe. And in a short amount, I mean, it was very there were some Jackie Chan things I could see inspired behind that scene, man. And to me, it was awesome.
Nice. And Jeff, what was your favorite scene?
It has to be the fight between Wenwu and Ying Li. So that whole fight is what I meant when you're gonna see the whole Hidden Dragon, Crouching Tiger, and the beauty and the scenery and the vision that they had. The scene comes to life, the background comes to life. It's amazing. It's beautiful, and the way that they fall in love, it's a typical Chinese martial arts love story. And if you've ever watched a foreign film, like I used to watch this when I was a child, go to my grandfather's house, all the grandchildren would go watch, while everyone else is, all doing the adult things, right? Drinking and talking and gossiping, right? So we're all watching these Kung Fu movies, and this is exactly what I remember. Brought me back to my childhood. So absolutely that scene.
Oh man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
For me, I really enjoyed when they first got into Tai Lo, and you saw this beautiful like paradise and all the creatures that live there, and it was just great to kind of see a lot of all of those creatures that we see like in Chinese mythology. I mean, you get to see the lion dragons, and you get to see them. You get to see the horses that look like dragons. I mean, it's a lot of what we normally see if we went to Chinatown, but you'd see actually portray out in a movie, and nothing was made fun of. They were all well done. The CGI was fantastic. And getting into that world, I felt like I was part of it. I was like, oh my God, I know that. So it felt really, really well done. So Steve, I mean, we kind of talked about favorite scenes and what you thought about the movie. So who was your standout actor or actress?
You know, the sister actually did pretty well. She didn't have to do as much acting as she did, but she was at the right time at the right place. Also, knowing that she was training separately, um, she was a badass, man. And then to come to find, as Shang-Chi's on his journey and beginning to, uh, go to her to try to save her. I mean, you find out, I mean, she's just on her own, really, and she's, you know, uh, has her own thing and she's the head of it. So the fight scene between them in there, like rekindling
Uh-huh.
their brother and sisterhood. So for me, I think she stood out in that scene. And then she kind of opened up a little more. So you got a little more of her background, a little more of her origins, what happened to her. So to me, I thought she just stood out pretty well in that flick, man.
Nice. What about you, Jeff?
My favorite character?
Yeah.
It has to be Wenwu. Tony Leung just killed it. He killed it. He convinced me that he was a warlord, that he was, this ridiculously feared man. And then he switched it up on you. He flipped the script. He becomes a family man. He loved his children. He loved his wife, and you can see that revenge aspect coming from him, and it was so convincing that he was so dedicated to hopefully getting his wife back. And I just spoiled it. So
That's okay. I don't think anybody caught that. So what about you,
Yeah.
JR? Who is your favorite character? Who stood out for you?
Well, I mean, I was gonna say the father because I mean, I agree 100%. I mean, he was justified the way he was portrayed was perfect. But I thought the mother was really well done. I thought she didn't have a lot of scenes, but the scenes that she did have were some of the most impactful scenes in the movie. I thought her first fight scene that Jeff had mentioned was amazing. The whole thing of the courting of them, how the father and her got together. She just left enough out there where it's kind of like she was playful, but she was also defensive. And just her love, like the scene with when you find out that she's eventually going to die, she's basically saving her family by taking on this mob of people. And you see they do a couple different versions of the last scenes of her life talking to her son, and it just kind of wrenches your heart, and you're just like, damn, she in a small amount of words, she just completely wrenched your heart in a good way. But I mean, she kind of did what a mother should do, you know.
Yeah, totally.
what I liked about her is she was so sure of herself from beginning to end.
Yeah.
Like, she never doubted herself. She knew her abilities, and they were fantastic.
Oh man, yeah, dude. Jeff,
Yep.
you nailed it, bro. Her taking into that element, she was like an airbender, man. Just whooping that ass.
And you guys are going to be surprised by my choice. It's actually Aquafina.
Oh, okay.
And you hate Aquafina.
And I yes, I dislike her. I find her very annoying. I really do. But
Oh,
in
you
this
sure the hell
movie,
didn't this movie?
I know in this movie, it's like, oh my God, I'm a fan. It's like it wasn't over the top. Her acting wasn't over the top. All her jokes weren't were too like far fetched. I mean, she was hilarious. She was also very vulnerable in a lot of the in a lot of the scenes, and I felt that she was actually pretty relatable. I enjoyed it immensely. When going in, I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna hate on her. but it was the total opposite. Like I felt like, oh my god, like she could be a friend of mine because again, she didn't speak Chinese. All she speaks is English, and she's just kind of like very tomboyish. I mean, it was very nice. It was a nice role for her, and I got to give her props, man.
And she's
Holy
a cheap
crap.
date. You take her karaoke, and
Yeah.
for fuck's sakes, you could have a couple of songs with
That's
her,
right.
man. Totally Eclipse
Or
of the
we
Heart.
could.
She's gonna, and I hate to tell you, she's gonna be around for a while. I think
I
they
that's
have
great.
big plans for her.
If they keep her like usually Aquafina is like at an 11. If they can keep her at like a 7 or 8, like it's perfect.
But see, I think they create a role for her that plays to her craziness, but also keeps her grounded.
I
can
think
see that.
she did it better in this role than she did in Crazy Rich Asian.
Yes.
She was over the top in Crazy
Yeah,
Rich
way
Asians.
over the top. But
Yeah.
but that's some Crazy Rich Asian. So
Yeah.
No, I mean, I could keep thinking about her, like her jokes on the airplane. It was just hilarious when she was like, "Oh, so Sean, what's your real name?" And she's like, and Sean's like, "Oh, it's Shang-Chi." I'm like, "Wait a minute, you changed your name from Shang-Chi to Sean."
Yeah.
She's like,
It
"Oh
wasn't
my
even
God."
Shang-Chi. She's like, you changed your name from Shang to Sean.
Yes, exactly. And then she's like, "Oh, it's like, oh, my name is Gina," and then you change your name to Gina. Like vagina. like, oh my god, that was great. It had me rolling. I loved it. I loved it. All right, guys. So now we're actually gonna be spoiling the movie for you. So here we go. So it's just gonna be a free for all. You know what? Let's just start with again. Let's just start with the birthday boy. Spoil this movie for us, and we'll just keep things rolling.
So I love how they start the movie, right? So it just seems very grand, very epic. There's someone, talking about the history of the 10 rings and how it came about and how when we found them, and it's just a legend. No one knows the truth, but the legend is like coming from the comic books. You know how there's multiple different origins of how he found it or how he obtained them. And the way that they explain it is like, oh, he found it in a crater or he stole it out of a tomb, and it works perfectly. It's just a legend, and just showing him attacking a whole army at one time, just all by himself, rides up in a horse, gets off, and just whoops everyone's butt, and that's it. He's taking over the kingdom.
To be fair, though, they shot arrows at him first.
Yeah.
He was riding up. He wasn't necessarily fighting. He was riding up, and you just see thousands of arrows come flying.
Well, to be fair, he's an idiot for charging, in their eyes.
And just remember, too, guys, like this man is 1,000 years old.
Yes.
Like
And
he is
doesn't look
older
an
than
age over it.
dirt.
Right.
And it's because of the 10 rings. Those rings, like, basically make him
Immortality.
immortal. Yeah. It's pretty nuts. But yeah, I mean, it's those 10 rings are crazy, and like just the whole fighting of those creatures from beyond. Like I didn't even know anything about those things, and I like how they tied it into kind of like a wormhole or another dimension, which leans heavy into like all of these incursions, or like even Avengers when they open this portal and then all of these creatures start coming out. I thought it was great.
See, and I thought that was when I first saw it. It was talking about creatures from the dark, or they made some reference to light.
Yeah,
I thought for sure that it sounded to me like they're talking about Null, like this was going to be something down the road.
Oh God! Thank goodness it wasn't.
No, thank goodness it wasn't. But I mean, I thought it was weird that first when they kind of made it sound like it was Null.
Did you feel like Mephisto was gonna come out?
No.
Gotcha.
It's the darkness, the dark one.
God, someone needs to kill from Mephisto just now. Marvel's gonna do it just for funny. I'm telling you.
Nah.
Yeah, they're gonna just catch us with a meme and shit. A
You
good
know it.
one.
You know it.
See,
So go ahead, JR.
I was gonna say I like the little cameos too that you got in, like the whole fight scene between Abomination and
Wong.
Wong, and how it ends up being just staged.
Yeah.
Like he tells him back, like Abomination's just kind of going, man, that fucking hurt. He's like, well, I told you to pull back on the punches.
It's like a
And they-
WWE locker.
Yeah, dude.
They're all
That's right.
sitting next to each other. It's like, Emil, that hurt.
But
Oh,
also,
nice.
I noticed in one of the, like when they're walking through, looking at the different fights, the lower level fights, there's one guy that looked like E Honda from Street Fighter,
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
but
That's what it reminded me of.
I don't think it's E Honda.
But I think it could be making fun of it.
No,
Yeah. I mean, it's
okay.
an Easter egg for sure.
But there's also a character in the Iron Fist lore
Mm-hmm.
that Fat Cobra, I think his name is,
Damn, what a shitty name.
and he is that size and that he looks like that character did.
Well, did you see what was in the next room?
Was that I thought it was the First Mutant.
No, it's the guy who had
Mind of
extremists
beast.
in his
What's going
blood,
on, brother?
That's
And he
what
was-
it was.
and he was fighting a Black Widow. So, and it was the Asian girl from the Black Widow movie.
Okay, I did not catch that.
Well, I hope you guys caught that because I know
Man.
I didn't.
I didn't either,
So-
man. I was just too
Man.
I
much.
saw her gear, and then she did the flip, and I was like, oh.
Did she pose? If she posed, then I would have known.
I know.
No,
she
I think it was
posed
too
a
fast.
little, but it was way too fast.
I missed
did
it
any of you guys catch the color of Shang-Chi's mom's armor when she was
Yeah,
fighting?
The light greenish and yellow, yeah.
Yeah,
Who else's color is that?
Iron Fist.
Iron Fist.
yeah.
Yep.
But so in the comic books, there's like the 7
Yep.
places of heaven, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Talo is not one of them.
No, but
Okay.
they could retcon that.
Right, but they can retcon that, and they made it feel like it is like a gateway to heaven, right? It felt
Mhm.
like there was a reason why it's there, and it felt mystical enough, and
Yes.
so I think they can tie that in. I absolutely agree.
I think they're going to.
I'm not going to argue with that.
I at least, I mean, if we go to this one of the end credit scenes, I think it definitely we're going to go there.
Man, comic
So
stash,
what
you
end
already
credit
know.
scene? What end credit scene are you talking about there? JR?
So when, well, first off, it was just great seeing Aquafina and Shang-Chi at the restaurant talking to their friends like they did earlier in the movie,
Like
and
they're
talking
mature.
about the whole thing, and the girl's just like, "Are you making fun of me?" And they're like, "No."
It's not even an end credit scene. It's a bonus
yeah.
ending.
Yeah.
And then Wong shows up behind them, and they're just like, "Oh, fuck, okay." But anyways, go there. Wong takes them and looks at the rings and stuff, and then we have some captain, which I don't care about, with long hair, and Hulk
You already
in
know.
human form with a broken arm, which I thought he was stuck in Hulk form.
No, so
But-
I don't think he wasn't stuck. He made a deal with the Hulk to be in that form as long as he was in charge.
Okay, I thought he was stuck as Smart
Yeah.
Hulk.
And then plus,
But-
like, too, you kind of get the timing of everything because, like, a lot of
Suck 'em
people
up.
are thinking, like, oh, where does this movie take place? And it takes place right after Endgame.
Yeah.
Only because, again, you see Mark Ruffalo or Bruce Banner in that kind of sling. So
Well,
it's
that
not-
and she's
it's not-
grown some hair.
Yeah, it's not right after, so it's
Well,
probably months after because her
Probably
hair
like
is
5,
longer.
6 months.
Mhm.
But the one thing is they found out that when he got control of the rings, everyone felt it somehow. I didn't understand that exactly. But then also B, it turned on like a tracking beacon or a homing beacon.
Oh, we're jumping here this fast.
Well, we're gonna jump back and forth. I mean,
Okay.
yeah, why not?
This is a
Okay.
chess game.
Cool.
I think that beacon is to Kun Lao. My theory behind that is That is-
Kunlun?
Kun Lao is Iron Fist one, right?
Yeah, Kunlun is yeah.
So I think it's
seven.
right. I think it's to that because when when the father had it, it was evil. He corrupted the rings. When Shang-Chi switched it over and made them good again is when it went off. So I'm thinking that whatever it is coming, it's a good thing, not a bad thing.
It could be, unless, of course, it's one of those things where if it was evil, right, then it's like, okay, our plan is working. And now that it's good again, it's like something happened. Like we need to get our butts down there and wreak havoc because our device just wasn't working.
I just think there's a lot of elements that they took from Iron Fist and applied to especially from the Matt Fraction run. And if you look in the end credits, they actually give credit to Matt Fraction.
I did see that.
Oh yeah.
And
yeah.
I don't believe he's ever written a Shang-Chi book. I could be wrong, but I don't believe he has.
Okay. So what are you guys' predictions then? Because we're kind of talking about the end credits now.
I have a theory about that though.
Oh, okay. Let's hear it, Jeff.
So I've heard people saying it's connected to Galactus. I heard people say it's connected to the Eternals. I think you mentioned that earlier, that someone had mentioned that on another channel. I think it might go back to its origin, right? So we're talking about its origin, where they came from. Some people say it's connected to Kang, even. I'm not going to go that far. I don't think we're going to. Not everything's connected to Kang.
Not yet, at least.
Not yet, at least. I don't want to go there. It's not another Mephisto thing here, okay? So, but they already, Wong gave the clue, right? They're older than their dad when their dad got it. So he was 1,000 years old. So it's got to be older than 1,000 years. So I can see the connection possibly to the Eternals. The design looks very similar to maybe the Eternals symbols. But I think it could be connected to the McClellans, to Fin Fang Foom, the McClellans. Uh-huh. That's the species of Fin Fang Foom, right? And that's where they originally come from. So they could be like a long lost species, and that's why Captain Marvel's never heard of them. And they could be in another dimension for all we know, right? Because that's where Kunlun was. I mean, not Kunlun. Where Talo was protecting us from, right? Another dimension.
Yep.
So it's possible that the McClellans are from a different dimension, and it's just reaching out to Fin Fang Foom. And the reason why he's going to be called Fin Fang Foom is going to tie back to Iron Man 2 or 1, where he was flying down through the streets of LA, and there was a billboard of Fin Fang Foom on there, and it was like a product. And when they see the dragon in the real world, they're just going to call it Fin Fang Foom.
I hope you're right. Just for a sense, I want Fin Fang Foom.
Hell yeah. Everybody wants Fin Fang Foom. And what they did with the Great Protector, the Great Protector was ridiculously better looking than I thought it was going to be. I totally thought they were going to botch the dragon. You know how they do with, CGI. I should never doubt them. But
well, I think they spent a lot of money to make sure that dragon looked good, because they would have got a lot of shit if they didn't.
Oh, yeah, because they did take away a little bit from the CGI of the people, right? You can tell it was a little not as great as the dragon. Yeah. Boy, that dragon looked really great. It looked like it was straight out of like a vase.
Oh, totally, dude.
But one thing I also want to point out is the mother kept saying the heart of the dragon, like she was the heart of the dragon, all that stuff. That's also Iron Fist stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then too, just so you guys don't know, and I'm sure you guys do. So obviously, Shang-Chi is going to be an Avenger. So there's been some books out there. Just make sure to kind of look and go hunt for them, because he is part of the new Avengers. So he will. So look for those books where they have it. Go ahead, Jeff.
There's another key that ties to what JR said. He's actually been the ruler of Kunlun in the comics.
Yeah.
So there's your tie. It's like not a doubt that he's connected to Kunlun.
Yeah, I think the next episode we're going to get the Tournament of Champions, the Matt Fraction run. I think that's going to be our next Shang-Chi, because unfortunately, Shang-Chi does not have a lot of stories that are not fairly racist or stereotypical.
No.
And I'm not trying to be mean, it's just, but it makes sense. Iron Fist didn't do too well. You can easily have him be that and bring in the new Iron Fist, whoever it is, in that tournament of champions.
Mhm.
And I think it would fit really well. I'm kind of curious. So, who are they going to make Aquafina? Because Wong's like, "You're coming with us. You're a hero now too."
I think she's just Katie.
I think maybe she's Sister Blade. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
You don't think they're going to try to make her like Arrow or something, or
No,
I don't think so.
she's a regular person. She has no powers.
Yeah,
that's for now?
I don't think they're gonna make her anything like at all. I think if Marvel did, I think it would undermine her character. I mean, she's vulnerable because she doesn't have power. You
Right.
know, she's relatable because she doesn't have these powers.
She's the audience, basically.
Exactly.
No,
Yep.
no, I get that, but at the same time, she's also the one that did one of the main shots to hurt the dragon
Okay,
to save the other dragon.
That's my only damn gripe about this whole freaking movie. So
They're
that's
like,
it.
how the hell you?
But-
how the
but I
hell
mean,
you a
there's-
bullseye
It's a
now?
training homage. That's what it is. This is a training montage. Sorry,
Right.
it's a training
no,
montage.
no, it is.
In one day,
But I just feel like they are. It's also a massive target that was not moving very fast at that moment. I mean, let's
still.
be honest. But I feel like they're leading the seeds there to make her into some type of hero down the road. I don't know. I tried looking Asian female archers. I didn't see any, but I have a feeling she's going to become something.
Okay, well, let's just not even talk about race then, because I mean, they're the way that Marvel's kind of working nowadays. It's like it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter what your culture is, the color of your skin. They're just going to find the best actor or actress to fit in that role, right?
Right.
So you don't have to go and say, okay, let's look at the Asian archer. Why don't we just look at just an archer in general? You know, and kind of see where that goes. But we've already had Hawkeye. We have Kate Bishop coming, so that you can toss that one out. I mean, you'd have to think about, like, I don't know, if we had to give her a superpower, maybe
How about let's connect her to Doctor Strange, because she's right now in the Sorcerer Supreme's home, right?
Sanctum.
She could be the librarian, right? Because Doctor Strange has a librarian.
Yeah,
or someone that kind of helps around, and
she's super smart.
She's female, so could be that.
Because what did she have a degree in?
From like Harvard or something like that.
Right, but what was it? Because they said it.
Yeah,
and I could see them. A lot of times they'll do stuff where they'll drop like, here's this little sprinkle of detail, and you just think it's a detail, and then you go to the next movie and it's like, oh, she could do this because we said in the first movie she was a graduate of Harvard for aerodynamics or whatever.
It might be like communication, maybe, or something like that.
Could have been.
Yeah, we'd have to look it up. Let's use the Google. Yeah. You guys can talk. I'll
yeah, don't ask me to remember. I was on like hour 35.
dude, what about at the very end, dude, when Shang-Chi was fighting his dad? That was dope, because you got the reminiscent scene of how they met, and you could see Shang-Chi holding his dad. That was hard too, because he very much wants him to understand and get with it, and he's so blinded by love and trying to see his beloved wife that he gets owned. I mean, and by Shang-Chi's mother style, man. I like also how they met Michelle.
Michelle Yeoh.
Yeah, she is freaking awesome, man. In any movie that I've ever seen, dude, she is one of my favorite female Asian actors, man. I love her. I love what she brings to the table. And dude, her martial arts is sick.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
That's another disappointment. I wish we saw more of her martial arts.
Oh man, dude.
That she was in it a decent amount, but it was a little less than I thought she was going to be in it.
But she's also getting up there in age, isn't she?
Yeah.
And I mean that could be part of it.
Yeah.
One thing, did anyone else notice, and maybe it's just me, I missed it, but when they showed the two uniforms for Sister Dagger and for Shang-Chi, wasn't Sister Dagger's outfit black? And then she shows up later with white. It had some black,
Mhm.
but it was like predominantly white scale.
I
Which
don't
fits the
remember
dragon,
what the
but-
color. Yeah, I don't remember.
I am your father. Oh yeah, which weapon was cooler, the dagger on the rope? I thought so.
That
It was
She
pretty
freaking
dope.
killed it, bro. When she
Yeah.
was a little girl using the freaking chain, dude, that weapon is hard to use. Like you just slap the
Yeah.
shit out of yourself.
Let's not dismiss Razor Fist. The
No,
guy that played Razor
was-
Fist was pretty damn good.
Yeah,
Well, I mean, he was in Creed too, right? So he's Drago's son.
Okay, so I never saw Creed too.
Yeah. So
But
he did well.
what's up, Primo? What's up, baby?
I liked also when he broke off one of the blade tips and put it on for his thing.
Put the dragon
It's-
scale on.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was just like,
Yes.
now he has a sword and he has the thing. He's like, okay, let's rumble.
Smart.
That was fun.
At least it wasn't a dumb henchman.
No.
Yes.
What was smart was Ben Kingsley, what he did during that scene.
No, dude,
Where
that
he's
was
on the
hilarious.
ground.
Okay.
And the beast comes up to him. He's like, motherfucker, stop it.
Play him dead.
Yeah, dude, that was hilarious.
You should play
I
dead
caught
too.
that.
He rolls.
Oh my god. Look, I loved Ben Kingsley in it, and I love the fact that he was in it a lot longer than he was in any of the other movies.
Yes.
I hope they find something for him.
That,
I mean,
that comedy. Oh,
Oh man, he killed it. The comedy relief in there was perfect for him with him in it.
Yeah.
See, the funny thing is, I knew beforehand that for sure he was there. For sure he was going to be in the movie,
What's going
and
on?
for sure he was
Sam?
a captor of Wenwu, right? So, but I didn't know how good of a part they were going to give him, and damn it, with the damn pig chicken, with the chicken butt running around, dude. I'm
Yep.
telling you, dude.
It was great.
Jeff, are you scared of an orange?
Am I scared of an
You
orange?
should be. You should be. But just as an FYI, I could not find the degree. What was the title? But it is an honors degree from Berkeley.
Oh, Berkeley. There you go.
Okay.
But it didn't give any details. I couldn't find it in the short
Okay.
like 2 or 3 minutes that I had.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely an honors degree. It's again, I did see Berkeley, so I just don't know what it is. But there's some theories out there already, as I was like looking around, to JR's point of what Aquafina may become. So that's another thing to kind of look out for.
Because Marvel likes to do that. They like to take a character and build them up, and have them become someone you weren't expecting down the road.
Yep.
Okay.
I mean, who knows? She could become new Taskmaster.
Oh God, don't.
Don't
Um,
do that.
Man, that's just messed
Too
up.
soon?
Yeah,
Too
why you
soon,
gotta do
too
me like
soon.
that?
That movie just came out like about a month and a half ago. Oh, too soon. All right, guys, it's a kind of about time to kind of wrap up. I want to hear some parting words from you guys in regards to the movie. Let's start with JR. What are your parting shots for Shang-Chi?
Overall, I loved the movie. I felt the second end scene was kind of a waste. It's kind of a duh. We all thought that was going to happen anyway. They should have done something else. But I can't wait to see more of it. I think they actually did really good.
You're damn right, Sam. I was just like, this mother. This mother.
I didn't bash it that bad, but I thought they did a really good job.
Because Spider-Man
for doing
wasn't
this
in it.
movie.
Yep, exactly.
No, I actually like Spider-Man movies.
All right, Steve. What about you? What parting shots do you have for Shang-Chi?
It's so nice. I'm gonna watch it twice. I gotta watch it again, man. I'm gonna go watch it in theaters and catch all the things that I missed out on. I mean, what Jeff caught, I missed out. I was just in sheer and utter awe, just going back into the theater, having that experience with you guys and everything like that. So I wasn't too wrapped up in those Easter eggs, but I'll definitely check them out this second time around. But it's awesome. You guys definitely will not be disappointed.
That's right. That's right. What about you, Jeff?
You know my thoughts. I definitely love the movie. I definitely think they did it justice for the Asian community. I do want to let everyone know, like, you got to remember this movie was supposed to be the third movie in Phase 4, and it's now the second movie in Phase 4. It was supposed to come out after Eternals, so they changed those end credit scenes for this movie.
That makes sense.
So it could tie to Eternals, who knows? And it could tie to Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So, I mean, there's all kinds of things that we can look forward to and speculate about. And I also want to say that it made $90 million over the 4-day weekend.
Nice.
It broke the Labor Day weekend record. So, I mean, to say that anybody doubted the movie, to say that, you know, the Asian community would not support this movie or anyone would support this movie, kiss my ass. And thank goodness, because this movie was damn great. And I recommend it for everyone to watch. You know, I might be overhyping it for people. I always do that, but I love the movie. I would rank it like 9 out of 10, a solid 9.
Nice.
Yeah,
and then JR too, you had a quick question from the chat.
Yeah, I would definitely go see this. This is a theater. This is a movie you need to see in theaters.
Yes.
It is a great movie.
Epic.
I was just disappointed with one of the end credit scenes.
Just the visuals alone, you'll love the movie. You don't even have to like the story, but the story is really great too.
And let me say one thing. I cannot stand subtitles. I don't want to see movie subtitles. At the very beginning, they'd had subtitles in it, and I still love the movie. So that tells you something.
Yep, it's a great movie. All you guys are right. I echo everything you guys have said. You need to watch this movie. It is amazing. It's what Black Panther did for African Americans.
Mhm.
This movie is doing it for Asian Americans. And again, I love it. It's
my
it's
nephews, my nieces, they're
right,
all
that's
gonna
right.
have someone to look up to.
Yep.
All because of Marvel, Kevin Feige, and Simu Liu.
That's right. That's
So
right.
thank you to them.
So, and don't forget, watching the theaters, to what these gentlemen have said, like, it is a spectacle that needs to be seen on the big screen. So if you have a chance, hit up your AMC, your Cinemark, you know, your Regal. Just go out there, grab a bunch of friends, and just watch the movie and enjoy it.
Oh yeah.
And with that being said, we're gonna take you out. Steve, do you want to take us out?
Oh, for sure, man. If you want to do it right, collect what you like. But on this segment is, if you want to view it right, check it out and view it what you like. Go ahead, Alonzo. Hit him.
Damn right. No, dude, that's perfect. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, everybody on the panel. And thank you, live chat. We appreciate you. And we out.